Hey everyone, my name is David Rao, and I'm the music teacher who blogs at makemomentsmatter.org. You can also find my ideas on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, YouTube, Pinterest, a variety of other places when you search for my name, David Rao, or Make Moments Matter. Tonight I'm going to be talking about a book that I love using in the classroom that I've been using the last week or so. It's called La Guitarrista by Lucky Diaz. I'm going to talk about how I use it. We're going to go through the book and talk about some connections, some other things. That's in just a second. If you hear me talk about any books, resources, anything that you're interested in these videos, there's a whole page on my blog dedicated to the links and things that I talk about, the resources, all of that. On my blog, makemomentsmatter.org, you can click the video tab there, or just wherever you're watching or listening to this, click the link at the bottom of that description to go to that links page. Also, if you're watching on Facebook, if you could comment and tell me if you can hear me, because I've had some mic issues the last couple weeks. So if you can hear me, just like give me a thumbs up or put a little something in the comments so that I know that you can hear. That'd be like super helpful. Okay. Also just a couple more things. If you are enjoying getting PD time online and learning about new things online, but you want to learn more in person, guess what? I'm going to be in a couple places doing live workshops. This weekend, I'll be with the New England Orff chapter on Saturday, October 4th, and doing a whole workshop with the New England Orff chapter about stories and storytelling and using words and poetry and stories to bring things together and bring lessons together. And then I'll be with the Alberta Orff chapter in Edmonton, Alberta, and that will be on November 1st. So if you're either in the Boston area or in the Edmonton area, we would love to see you at either of those workshops. So come on out if you're around. Okay, let's see. I'm going to leave a little message for Facebook in case they can't hear me. Okay, so one more thing. So something really exciting happened in the last week. I've been sharing things on Teachers Pay Teachers for years and years and years, and lots of different resources, bulletin boards, interactive games, Note neighborhood stuff, substitute teachers resources, like all sorts of things on Teachers Pay Teachers. And I realized that I had 599 products and resources on TPT. So I added the 600th resource and I made it a free resource. It's a download that you can use and use for like a door decor, or if you want to use it for like a bulletin board, and just something that you can, make your space a little bit more bright and exciting. It's actually called Spread Joy. It's not just necessarily just about music. It's about spreading joy throughout the school and just being. It's a mental attitude thing, a positive thing. And so the bulletin board, it has words in watercolor letters that say like spread joy, but then also it has little bubbles that you can cut around and have kids jumping, dancing, moving with some like really fun bright watercolor backgrounds. That's free. I linked on the links page if you want it, but just something to brighten up your room and to like commemorate having 600 resources on TPT is kind of crazy. But like it's been so many years that like, okay, yeah, those accumulated, but it still felt exciting. So to commemorate, I added that free resource there if you want it. Okay, let's talk about this book. I'm going to go through the book and sort of share a little bit more of the book, and then I'll talk about like how I use it in my classroom and connections, things that you can do with it. So it's called La Guitarrista. It's by Lucky Diaz and illustrated by Micah Player. I shared another book by Lucky Diaz a couple years ago, and it was called Paletero Man, and I shared that maybe 2 years ago, and about how I used it with the book, with the poem Jean Dressed in Green. And if you're interested in that, I linked that on the links page if you want to go back and see another one that Lucky Diaz did. I really like this for a bunch of reasons. I think the story is really great. I think that the message is really wonderful, but also I just love these illustrations by Micah Player. I've loved them in all the books that he's done. So super fun to see them again. And with this theme, it's just like, it's amazing. So I think your kids are going to like it even just for the look of it and the illustrations. But like, let's go in and read the story and you can see what you think about about what happens in the story. So the very first thing is a little girl looking at a guitar store, and she's looking in the window and seeing some electric guitars in the window, and just kind of like looking wistfully. On the first page it says, "Every sábado in sunny LA, I dream of guitars in the window display. What's that I spy? Treasure in the trash? My first guitar I grab in a flash." Okay, so this is like perfect for Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month because it includes a lot of Spanish language in it. There are some things that are like intuitive, but if not, it's not a ton of Spanish, so you don't need to be intimidated by the amount of Spanish. It's pretty easy to work in. And if you're not sure what the words mean, you can absolutely look them up. It's very, very simple. Like, so every sábado in sunny LA, every Saturday in sunny LA. Okay, there's more. It's coming. But she looks in the window, sees the beautiful guitars, and then finds one in the trash. It's a little rough, I can admit, but with a bit of love, it'll be a hit. What's this do? Which string is which? Maybe it'll play with the flip of that switch? You can do it, mija, I hear mama say. Si se puede. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so I am actually kind of worried about this little girl because she's pulled this guitar from the trash and she's like, oh, it's so like, look. Okay, but like the neck is completely broken off. The strings are all crazy. If it were me, I would be worried about putting it together. But I mean, book magic, let's see what happens. Strum, 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 hasta la vista. Si se puede, I'm la guitarrista. So she does not seem worried. She goes up, leaving her mom. Bye, mom. I'm going to go fix it. And runs off with this guitar like in literal pieces. But let's see what happens. Book magic. Fernanda, there's a problem. My guitar's broken in two. I don't know how to fix it. Can you help make it new? And then so Fernanda is here, and you can see on her shirt it says Fernanda's Furniture. And she's like sanding down some like wood or something or whatever. And then on the wall it says repair and restore on the store wall. Don't worry, mija, a little glue makes it whole. And just like that, I'm ready to roll. Okay, I do not want to, harsh her groove here, but a little wood glue, I don't think is gonna fix that guitar. I mean, I am not a luthier, so like, but anyway, the idea is great of like, let's fix it up. And I love that she goes to the furniture store to like, what can we do to get some help? Gracias, Fernanda. I gotta go. Rápidamente. There's a lesson tonight with Senora Clemente. So she's like, I gotta go because there's this amazing lesson. It says guitar lessons tonight, Senora Clemente, world famous musician and teacher at Tune Tone Academy. Strum, strum, strum. Estoy lista. I'm ready to rock. I'm la guitarrista. So some words that you're hearing over and over. So strum, strum, strum. Obviously, this is strumming of the guitar. Estoy lista. I'm ready. And then I'm ready to rock. I'm la guitarrista. So I am the guitarist, right? Oye, canta. Your guitar sounds sweet. Let Lupita glam it up and to make it complete. What you need is candy paint gleam. Sparkling like new, it'll be a dream. Strum, strum, strum. Vamos, let's go. I'm ready to rock. My guitarra in tow. Okay, so she goes to see Lupita. Lupita stops her, and Lupita works at like an auto detailing or paint and fixing. Oh, auto body. See, it's right next door. Lupita's auto body, custom detail, and collision repair. Okay, I love that she is not going to a music repair, but like is using her community. I think that's amazing. So you can see on this page is kind of cool. They're like airbrushing the guitar and blowing, like custom color and paint and shine on it, and it does look really good. No, nobody's been like, hey, Kanta, let me tune that for you, which is me, the music teacher's like, I wish that, but okay, again, book magic, let's just go on. I around the corner to music school. I see all the kids looking so cool. Can I hit all the notes? Can I play the right licks? I hope I sound great and fit into the mix. Strum, 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 estoy lista. I know I can do it. Soy la guitarrista. So it's changed now from I'm la guitarrista. And actually, is the first time I wonder if it says I'm the guitarrista. What does she say the first time? No, she says la guitarrista. So the first time is la guitarrista, which is the guitarist. And then soy la guitarrista means I am. So it's now switched from I'm to soy, which is fun. So it's like slowly building in more Spanish. Now, this is a time where I stop with students and I say, do you hear when she said, can I hit all the notes? Can I play the right licks? Licks, have you heard that before? And we like talk through what are licks. It's like, little motives or whatever things. And I like try and give them a couple examples. I'm like, she's not licking anything. That's a guitar thing. It's a guitar phrase when they say play some licks. Okay. Canta, asked Chico. What you have there? Sounds like a trombone that's run out of air. Wah, 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 ha, 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 says Conta's friend, or Chico's friends. All the kids laugh. How funny, que risa. I turn to head home in a hurry, a prisa. So he's like making fun of her guitar. I mean, he hasn't even heard it. Like, go away, Chico. But then I hear an awesome roar. Amplified, electrified. It's Senora Clemente, slinging her strings, shredding those riffs her guitarra sings. Okay, there's another one where we talk about what is a riff. It's like a lick. It's like a motive. It's like something that guitarists play. So we talk about some of those things. So they're like, what's a so they can hear like some of those specific vocabulary things. Canta, she calls. Tune those doubts out because making music is what it's about. Don't let others make you feel down. The song in your heart can turn it around. Okay, sweet moment. And then she says, she's right. I can hear it. My heart, mi corazón. Singing loudly my song, mi canción. So, but what I love about this picture is like literally all the kids in the whole page close their eyes and like put their hand over their heart and like it's like listening to your dreams, listening to your heart, listening to your own self. So I like love that like even the kids who made fun of her or whatever are doing the same thing. They're all like reorienting, rethinking, getting on the same page. I practice each day, keep the song in my heart. The day I found my guitar was only the start. Okay, there's a lot to unpack on this page. They go with Senora Clemente. They're clearly having lessons up here, practice each day. And then here there's a chord chart, so where she's like learning and listening and reading and practicing at home. So practicing with a teacher, practicing at home. Now look, here's a band. It says talent show. And she's with a band. She's playing with her band in like, it looks like maybe a school talent show in this picture. And then it says stage, stage. Good luck to Nate Lupita. The day I found my guitar was only the start. And then you open the page and there is Canta playing guitar with her friends, but I don't think they're on their school stage anymore. This is like a big, big stage. And if you turn the page, you can see now they're on a huge, huge stage, an outdoor amphitheater. And it says, Mira la vista, I've always been la guitarrista. And if you look in the audience, you can see the people that helped her, Fernanda and Lupita and her mom, and all the people sort of helped her along the way to get there. And then in the back is a little author's note where he talks about when he was first a musician and like his start as a musician. And anyway, it's a very cool story. But as a music teacher, I always make sure to stop on the like second or the last page because it could go, I practice each day, keep the song in my heart. The day I found my guitar was only the start, next page. But I'm like, no, let's unpack these pictures because it's not just like I found the guitar, I fixed up the guitar. It's I found the guitar, I fixed up the guitar, I got a lot of help from other people along the way. And then look at all the work I'm putting in. So I make sure that like we stop and talk about that because I want kids to like have that in their head that it's not just you pick up a broken guitar and boom, you got it immediately. Because isn't that like part of the story of Coco? Like he finds the guitar and it's broken and he fixes it miraculously and then like hooray, he can play. So with kids, I like make sure that we talk about, okay, yes, her friends helped her, they fixed it, right? They shined it up, they made it look like new, they worked on it, they got it all working. And then she had to work really hard and like work on her own, work with her teacher, work with her friends. They do all the stuff. There are the steps, the stages of getting there. And then she gets to actually play the big show. So that's one of the things that I like input and spend a lot of time talking about. And there are other books that I use in my classroom through the years that go through this same thing of like, you have to put in the work, you have to keep going, you have to keep trying. There's a book, one of the books by Ricky Martin called Land Among the Stars. Ooh, what is it? I'll find it. Santiago the Dreamer is the name of that book by Ricky Martin, and Land Among the Stars, where he like doesn't get the part right away, but has to keep working at it. What's the other one I was thinking of where they have to keep working, keep working, keep working? I don't know, I'll find, there are more. Oh, and the if you look in Miguel and the Grand Harmony, that's another book that's like kind of the story of Coco, but not exactly, but kind of where they have to work and really try. Hana Hashimoto and the Sixth Violin is another one where she like picks it up and isn't great right away, but has to keep working, has to keep trying. There are a lot of books like that actually that don't just gloss over the practice part. Ooh, another one, Beyonce, Shine Your Light, where she talks about we worked, we tried, we failed, we kept going, we worked, we tried, we failed, we kept, and so it's like there are so many books that are like this, but it's just great to reinforce that like there is a lot of practice, there's a lot of um, work that happens to make this actually happen. Okay, so what can you do with this book? Well, if we want to talk, there are so many themes that you could pull out. Here are my like favorite ones to spend a little time on. You can talk about guitars, right? Like if you don't teach guitar, if you don't use a guitar in your classroom, this would be a great moment to like feature it because they see it everywhere, right? Like guitars are everywhere, so they see them. And so if they're not playing it, if you're not playing, they're learning about it somewhere. So this would be a cool time to talk about what's the difference between acoustic and electric. That's a cool science tie-in too, because like what makes an instrument acoustic, what makes it, why would you want to have an electric? How do you do that? So that'd be an easy connection. You could also talk about the difference between like a lead guitar and a bass guitar, or you know, like an electric guitar and a bass guitar. Like why are there two girl guitarists on this stage with a drummer? They're probably doing different things. So that would be another really easy thing to talk about. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. You could talk about like new versus old. So one of the things in the author's note at the back of the book, Lucky Diaz talks about when he first started, he got this guitar that he loved. He wanted to save up to buy a red Stratocaster, right? But he didn't get that right away. The very first one he got, he's like, it was old, it was scuffed up, bought it at a flea market, but I kept working, kept practicing. He's like, now I have those fancier guitars, but that first one is the one that I really fell in love with. So talking about like, if you don't get a brand new instrument right away, is that okay? Yes, there are student instruments, there are learning instruments, there are practice instruments. So like, even if you don't get the most beautiful one right away or the one that you think is most beautiful, there's a lot of value in these other instruments and like, what does that look like when you, because I think you know, some kids like worry that like they don't look the part or that their instrument isn't as cool or isn't as nice or whatever because of the way it looks. But you can talk about, you know, okay, well, does it have a good sound? Can you learn from it? You know, like those are some things that are, I think, good to hear too. So new versus old, and then like practice and what that does for you, right? Like, so practice makes perfect. That's like a big part of what we do with students all the time. So that's absolutely a theme you could toss in here. You could talk about getting help from your community. So she goes to all these different people to get help along the way. That's a theme in Lucky Diaz books, like in Paletero Man. That's another theme that shows up all throughout the book. So that's really cool. Another thing that I think would be so cool in this book is to talk about like female empowerment. Like how often do you get to see female guitarists and like, this is so cool that it's centered around this little girl. Now in the book, yes, she gets made fun of by another kid and it happens to be a boy, but there's really nothing in the book that is like, boys can play guitar and girls can't. Like that really doesn't come up actually. Because if you look at all the examples of like kids playing instruments, there are always girls and boys mixed in. And in fact, like the big like celebrity musician and teacher is Senora Clemente. So it's a you know, in the story of world, a famous female guitarist. So I don't think that this book says anything like boys can play, girls can't. So this one like really pretty evenly matches boys and girls playing guitar. So I think that's cool. But I think in the world of guitar, there's this idea that like electric guitars are for boys, like implied or stated or not. So that's something you could absolutely talk about as like anyone can play it, like anyone can play guitar. So that'd be a cool thing to bring up. And then you could give examples of students or of kids playing. So I found a couple examples and I linked them on the links page. One is Tina S on YouTube. I like did a cursory search of like what are great examples that are kind of short that I could show to kids. Playing a song by Pink Floyd on there. Then I found this channel, Ellen Plays, and I like loved everything, but I only linked like a couple videos on there. So she doesn't play electric, she plays bass, which again, if you're talking about the difference between electric and bass, this would be a really cool time to talk about that. But Ellen plays, so like my favorite, she plays the Pink Panther theme. She obviously really likes that. She plays Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel, which has like a kind of fun bass line, right? And she plays one on like a baritone ukulele, and then another one she plays on a bass guitar. And then she does her top 10 favorite bass lines where she like is talking with someone off screen. I think maybe it's her dad. I don't know. But talking with someone off screen about these songs, why she likes them, when were they introduced, blah blah blah, who made them famous, and then she plays all these like bass lines. So if you're reading this book and talking about riffs and licks, you could absolutely bring that language back and talk about that. Talking about bass versus electric, that's another thing you could talk about. Like there are just a lot of avenues for like what could you do. So this book is super great. It's a very um, fun because it's bright, it's exciting, and it like has all these great themes, great jumping off points. It's published in 2023, so there are copies in used bookstores and online on used book websites. I got mine as a library discard from an online website. So I know they're out there. You can buy it new. It's not expensive. Yeah, I think if you buy it new, I looked it up. Hardcover, it's only $10. I put the link on the links page if you want to see that. But you can buy, absolutely, you can buy used and find it in a couple places. But just know that it's not expensive if you want. I mean, $10, but like for a hardback book, that's nothing for a children's book. But anyway, it gives you tons of themes, lots of things you can do with it. So I hope you'll explore it and check it out. Check out the videos I put on the links page. They're super fun, and I love Ellen plays. I like want to go watch more of her channel just to like see, because she's also like an elementary school kid. She's not like a high schooler. She's like an elementary school kid playing all these like very complex things that I'm like, I wish I could play that. She's so good. Anyway, it's a super fun channel. So check out La Guitarrista, check out Ellen Plays, and let me know how you use this book. If you use this book, let me know if there are any other themes that I've missed that you would include when teaching this book. Okay, I hope this gives you some ideas. I'll be back next week with more Musical Mondays ideas. I'll see you then. Bye, everyone.